Fancy clothes, a red carpet, and champagne as Hollywood celebrates its biggest night of the year. We'll show you how people in Milwaukee are getting in on the glamour.
We'll get back to that in just a minute, but first we have some breaking news from Racine. Police are searching for a homicide suspect. The Racine County Sheriff's Office says Milwaukee police chased the suspect to Racine and are now searching for that person in the Park Bowl area. There were a lot of police cars you could see here near Park High School just a short time ago. The K-9 out there, we're still working to get more information.
There's also a winter weather advisory on the way for tomorrow.
Let's get right to meteorologist Lindsay Slater. Lindsay, a lot of people will see snow.
Everybody's going to see a little bit, just the timing is a little bit different for depending on what county you're in. So we have a winter weather advisory. The timing on it, it's going to be Monday late afternoon through Tuesday around lunchtime. So it's something to keep in mind. This is going to be
It's Hollywood's biggest night, and we just all saw the 90th Academy Awards right here on WISN 12.
And all of tonight's winners are scrolling across the bottom of your screen. Tim Elliott will take us to a local Oscars party in just a minute. We begin, though, with Ben Wagner. Ben, quite a few memorable moments tonight.
Yeah, Patrick and Adrian, certainly a night where everybody thought that some of the big awards may have been locked up. They wanted talking about one scene in the movie The Shape of Water.
the monster eats a cat, and that part broke my heart more. He ate a cat.
I wouldn't say that's the strangest part of it.
Like a spoiler alert banner we could put up.
As those in so he can hear.
Yes, we really did. And we've actually had that conversation more than once. We also spoke live with Chief Meteorologist Mark Baden from an Oscar party in Milwaukee, and I spent some time talking with some local film students and professional filmmakers here, getting their thoughts about the awards. You'll hear from them here in just a little bit, but an incredible night, plenty of memorable moments, both on screen for you at home and on our Facebook Live. We want to thank those students once again for being with us here tonight, Adrian.
And Ben, we laughed about it, but The Shape of Water, it got Best Picture. There you go. Shows what we know. Thank you. A big night at Bayview as the Avalon Theater shows the Oscars on the big screen.
Tim Elliott joins us now live from the theater. Tim, about 150 people showed up to check out the party.
Yeah, people really packed the Avalon Theater here in Bayview tonight for this event and a great cause. Back to you.
And a great reason to dress up.
From T-shirts to ties.
There you go. Thank you, Tim. An annual Oscar night event returned to downtown Milwaukee. This is the COA Youth and Family Center's Hollywood Gala. Chief Meteorologist Mark Baden emceed the event, as he has done for many years now, and you saw him on Facebook Live with us. This was the 20th year for the event.
And we'll bring you more Academy Awards coverage coming up in just a few minutes. In the meantime, join the Oscars conversation on our 12 News Facebook page. Now to something that affects almost everyone, road construction.
Drivers in Milwaukee County will have to get used to this a lot coming up here. A couple of major ramps are closed near the Marquette interchange because of construction, and they'll stay closed for months. There's more to come tomorrow night as well. As 12 News' Eden Checkle found out, some people are already feeling the impact.
Traffic crawling on 43 North, even on a Sunday.
For it to be crowded right now on a Sunday is really unusual.
It's all because of major closures near the Marquette interchange. Crews are redecking the high-rise bridge. The process will take months to complete.
We need to get that surface redone to help make sure we get maximum life out of that structure.
On that list of ramp closures, I-43 North to 794 East and I-43 North to Plankinton Avenue. The 43 North to 794 East closure means drivers will have to take the Beecher Street exit. And not everybody is happy about that, especially residents who live near the detour routes.
First Street's already more crowded. Pulling out of my place takes 5 minutes now instead of like 10 seconds.
Detours and delays mean setting aside extra time.
So I guess we just have to leave a little earlier.
In Milwaukee, Eden Checkle, WISN 12 News.
More ramps are shutting down tomorrow night as well, so we have a map right here. They include I-94 East to I-43 South, I-794 West to I-43 South, and the Wisconsin Avenue on ramp to I-43 South. There's a lot going on here, we know that, so we put the closure and detour information on our website, WISN.com. You can always check back there. The Wells Street Bridge in downtown Milwaukee is also closing tomorrow. Crews are going to rehab that bridge, and it's expected to be shut down until November.
Milwaukee police are trying to identify a woman killed on the city's north side. Police say it happened sometime last night or early this morning near 22nd and Townsend. Officers say the suspect is a 29-year-old Milwaukee man. He turned himself into police this morning. Someone shot a teenager near 27th and Kilbourne this afternoon. Police blocked off the area surrounding the Family Dollar store there. Doctors are treating the 16-year-old at a hospital. Police say they're investigating what led up to the shooting. So far, they have not made any arrests.
The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children is asking you to keep an eye out for a missing teenager. Here she is. This is 16-year-old Abigail Allen. She's from North Carolina. Abigail is 5'3" with brown hair and blue eyes. They believe she may be traveling with this man, 28-year-old Joshua Bullock, and flew to North Carolina from Wisconsin. So again, please keep an eye out for those two. Some Milwaukee youth offenders could be serving their time closer to home under a plan to overhaul juvenile corrections. The story is coming up tonight on Up Front.
I'm Kent Wainscott, filling in tonight for Mike Goucher. The new plan for youth corrections in Wisconsin would close the troubled Lincoln Hills prison in the northern part of the state and place offenders in smaller regional facilities. And what's remarkable about this plan is that it was put together on a bipartisan basis, and it's won unanimous support so far in the legislature. I'll ask the bill's authors how they made this happen tonight on Up Front. Plus, Democratic candidate for governor, Milwaukee businessman Andy Groening, on his campaign and why he says he can be a better job creator than Governor Walker. It's all coming up tonight right here on Up Front.
Up Front airs tonight right after the debut of Sundays with Alec Baldwin.
We are on Weather Watch tonight.
And snow is on the way, Lindsay.
Just a couple more hours. Find out who will see the most with this latest round. That's ahead in Weather Watch 12.
More Oscars coverage is also on the way. Here's a live look backstage. No one's at the podium. Oh, someone's walking up now, but we'll have a lot more coming up.
Walk right past it.
We'll keep checking in. Plus, a Grammy Award-winning singer, John Legend, in Wisconsin. We'll tell you where he sang to kids and help raise money for a good cause.
Take a break and connect with the 12 News team. WISN 12 News at 10 continues.
If I may be so honored to have all the female nominees in every category stand with me in this room tonight. The actors, Meryl.
During her acceptance speech tonight, a lot of people talking about this. And Ben Wagner is joining us now from our Oscar Central.
On the Oscar set right now, Ben, we had film students, filmmakers, and critics here at the station tonight to watch the awards with us.
Patrick and Adrian, we did, and it was a fantastic discussion, too. We talked about the winners as it was happening. We talked about some of the snubs, and believe you, if you ask them, there were certainly some snubs, and basically what they thought of the overall show. So how it went down, if you missed our Facebook Live broadcast here this evening, we talked with 6 of them in our conference room. Some are students at UWM or Marquette, and others are professional filmmakers or critics here in this area. Then they broke down some of the big categories like Best Picture, Best Actress, and Best Actor. But where I thought they really added to our conversation here tonight was when they talked about some of the technical categories, some of the categories you wouldn't normally hear about, sound editing, sound mixing. They also said that the more diverse group of nominees was important to them, but added that there is a lot more work to do.
Like Jason Mitchell, he was snubbed a few years ago for Straight Outta Compton. He should have been nominated for that. Maybe he should have been nominated for Mudbound. Mudbound should get more attention. Dee Rees was snubbed for Best Director. Like, she's a vet now. You can't say, oh, she's new. Like, Ava DuVernay was not nominated for Selma, but her film was nominated for Best Picture. Like, none of this makes sense to me.
So no doubt, these students and these filmmakers are certainly passionate about their films. They all agreed that the moment of the night, though, was we just showed you Frances McDormand having all of the female nominees stand up and to be recognized once again, talking more about the inclusivity of all of these, of the award show at the Academy Awards, guys. It
was a powerful moment. And the students and the filmmakers and film critics gave us a different perspective, too, as we looked at Oscars night.
The students had a lot of insight. Thank you, Ben.
They really did, yeah.
You can stay with us after this newscast for the premiere of the new series Sundays with Alec Baldwin. Baldwin will speak with interesting people from American pop culture. Tonight, it's Kate McKinnon and Jerry Seinfeld.
Seems so relaxed and so happy, and I wonder what's responsible for that? How do you do
obviously,
that?
Alec, obviously.
Are you going to lay the obviously card on me every response?
If I have to.
This will be a good one. More episodes will air later this year as well. We have some more local news now. Senator Tammy Baldwin brought a new tax reform plan to West Allis today.
She and New Jersey Senator Cory Booker introduced the Stronger Way Act. They say it will strengthen tax credits and help get people back to work.
We did not see tax reform. We did not see tax breaks. What we saw was a tax farce.
I want a tax code that rewards hard work.
not just wealth.
The Republican Party of Wisconsin released this statement saying in part, quote, Wisconsin Democrats have lost touch with hard-working families and no amount of support from their allies in Washington will make up for the failing of their deeply flawed candidates. President Trump's former chief of staff is talking about the president's decision-making this morning on This Week. Kenosha native Reince Priebus said the president puts rivals around him intellectually.
If you look at the president's decisions, which I always try to have people focus on, look at the economy, look at ISIS, look at the courts, the decisions and the things that President Trump has done have put him on a great course. If you're a Republican, you couldn't be happier. So the drama is there. But that is how the president makes decisions, and that process, while different, has gotten to good results. And that's what I think people need to do.
A music superstar performed in Madison this weekend to a very exclusive group. This is so sweet. Singer John Legend performed for kids in the lobby of Children's Hospital in Madison yesterday. After that, he headlined a fundraiser for the hospital called Legendary Evening. I'm sure they loved it.
With some spirits. We had a gorgeous weekend, but the work week is a complete change.
That's right. Meteorologist Lindsay Slater joins us now. Lindsay, you're talking snow and wind.
We are, and honestly, those are going to be the two big players in this winter weather system that's on the way. So I kind of broke down here a snow timeline of some key spots in your day that might get, upheavaled because of the snow on the way. So your morning commute. Not really talking any precip at this point. In fact, the system delayed itself just a couple of hours. So I think that the only thing you have to worry about tomorrow morning is grabbing that heavy coat, and it's going to start to get windy at this point. Now, for your evening commute, that's when we start to see the snow, and there is some potential of a little bit of frizzle or freezing drizzle, maybe even a little bit of freezing rain onset with this system. We might see that mix first, and then quickly that's going to transition into a burst of heavy, wet snow. This is the liquid concrete stuff that we talk about. This is not fluff snow. This is going to be pretty heavy, so just keep that in mind. Now, the winds during this time will be gusting up to 35 miles an hour, so visibility is going to be reduced in a big way during this time, and I believe the time is going to be between 5 and 6 p.m., and then that will continue for a few hours. So that's going to be a big player, and then your Tuesday morning commute, the wind will die down, but the roads will still be a little slick because we could see some of that blowing snow. So keep that in mind. Winter weather advisory in effect for all of us starting Monday afternoon. That will last until noon on Tuesday. So at the moment, not a whole lot happening around here. We have those winds here coming off the lake pretty strong because of this very large area of low pressure. And this low actually kind of rotates on itself, and it continues to do so. Even when it gets here, it will just continue to rotate and bring in a lot of moisture from the south. It'll also wrap around some of that colder air. But here we go. Let's take you hour by hour. Here's 6 p.m. Not a whole lot happening. We do have, some of the snow beginning in Walworth and also into portions of Jefferson County. But then as we get towards 7:30, then we start to see some changes. Now, this thick blue line here, that's the freezing line. And that's also very important because we're pretty mild tomorrow. So it's going to be a little bit of a mix and then a very quick transition to that heavy, wet snow. You can see just, the quick, heavy burst here of the snow. That'll be lasting from 6 to 10 p.m. or so. Then it'll start to kind of trickle off. It'll end first for areas in the southwest, and it'll continue in the northeast near Sheboygan and also areas in Ozaukee and Washington counties, Fond du Lac County as well. There may still be some lingering spots of snow by your Tuesday morning commute. That could be a problem. The wind should die down at this point, but then that low, like I said, it continues to rotate in on itself, so we'll continue to have these random bands of snow, and that'll be a trend, folks, that's going to last all the way into Wednesday morning. So future snow, this is the amounts that we're looking at. Still glad we went with 2 to 4 overall. Now, there will be some spots that could easily get, maybe a 5-inch in there because it just depends on where those bands rotate again and where they fall, but generally less near the state line, more so further north of 94 that you go. This will have some big impacts, especially near Minneapolis. That's where they're expecting about 5 to 8 inches of snow. Moderate impacts generally, Milwaukee County, Waukesha, areas also into Ozaukee, Dodge, Sheboygan, Fond du Lac, and even into Washington counties. Now areas, we're seeing Kenosha, Walworth, lower impacts are expected. So This will impact us mainly because of the timing, 5 to 6 p.m. on Monday through about Tuesday evening. Again, the total is 2 to 4 inches. It is that heavy, wet snow, and it's really going to impact your commutes the most. So your Monday afternoon, evening commute, I had a little red flasher there for you. The morning commute on Tuesday could be a little dicey, and then we could get some of that blowing snow when those winds can gust up to 35 miles an hour. So enjoy the calm before the storm. Temperatures will be pretty mild, actually, going with the high of 38 on Monday. Like I said, we could see that mix first, and then that quickly will transition to that heavy, wet snow. And again, it'll be a burst between about 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. where visibility is going to be reduced in a big way with those winds. Now, to become a blizzard, winds have to be sustaining at 35 miles an hour. We're getting close to that threshold. I don't think we're going to make it to it, but enough for a winter weather advisory.
Well, all right. Be careful out there. All right. We're going to go backstage right now at the Oscars. This is Allison Janney, who won Best Supporting Actress for her role in I, Tonya. They're at the microphone right now answering questions from reporters. That's where actors and actresses and all the winners tonight will be stepping up to answer those questions. Let's listen in.
Thank you, Brooks.